the back look like this? Or why is there a difference in price between these two shoes if they look so similar?
I'm gonna start with the low tops, and then we're gonna work our way to the mids, and then we'll go to the highs, and then we'll go to the extra highs. Y'all don't even know there was extra highs, huh? Crazy. So first up is the Air Jordan 1 Low. Now this one right here, a lot of people think it is the same as the OG Low, but it's a lot different. And I'm gonna show you a prime example for you to tell is looking at the back of the shoe. If you look at the back right here, we have the OG low cut right here. We have the retro low cut right here. So if you can see this tab right here that comes around and then it just regular swoosh comes back like this, that's a huge difference between the two shoes. Also, the OG cut is a little bit more narrow around the midfoot, and then the tongue and everything is a lot different here on the OG cut as well. You got a Nike Air on the tongue, and then you got a Jumpman on the tongue right here. So those are some big giveaways between the two shoes when it comes to an Air Jordan 1 Low or an Air Jordan 1 OG Low. Similar to the OG Low cut, we have an Air Jordan 1 Nike SB. Now if you look at the tag of that shoe, it's gonna have the Nike SB branding on the tag, but then the back of the foot around the heel is gonna have that OG cut style. And last up for the low tops, we have the Air Jordan 1 Low Fat. Now this is a part of the Fat series, which is honestly kind of funny because I think it's more to like a SB style because they made it really padded around the ankle area or the lower ankle area, whatever you want to consider that, and it's called the Fat 1 Low. But it's interesting because you would think that the SB would be like that style. Also in this video, I won't be mentioning any of the women's cuts when it comes to the lows, mids, or highs. I can make a separate video for that because there's so many different styles when it comes to the women's as well. So if you want to see a video on the women's cuts, drop a comment down below and I'll try to get that one put out for you guys. Now let's take it to the mids. So when it comes to the mid or the 3/4 Air Jordan 1, a lot of people like to call it one, a lot of people like to call it the other. But if you look at this one right here, this is probably one of my favorite mid colorways of all time. There were a lot of Jordan 1 mids that came out in that early 2000s era to the 2010 era, in that 10-year period, and they were cut just a little bit different than the newer mids that have released over the past maybe 5 to 7 years that we have been seeing releasing to the public. So they are a Jordan 1 mid, and then the different materials and the color patterns and all those different things, but at the end of the day, they still fall in that category as the Air Jordan 1 mid. Now if you ever notice, there's never really like a OG cut when it comes to the mid. It's mainly the high and the low. So you really just got your retro Air Jordan 1 mid, or you have your alpha Air Jordan 1 mid. This one right here, a lot of people get this one confused saying,
Oh, that's like the Chicago 1.
but it's really not. It is a lot more comfortable, but at the same time, the materials on the upper and then the outsole, you can clearly see the difference between the OG, the alpha, and then the retro OG. So going to the Air Jordan 1 in the OG cut, OG high style, this is the one that everybody loves. This is probably one of the most coveted, one of the most iconic sneakers out there, and I completely understand why. People want a representation of the OG as much as possible. That's why the OG high Air Jordan 1 with the Nike Air on the tongue typically sells for a lot more money, unless the other one is just a crazy dope colorway and it's more rare than what you could get when it comes to an OG cut style. One big thing that a lot of people get mixed up is this right here, the Air Jordan 1 Retro High. You know a lot of these iconic colorways, and I'm not mad at them. I have some of them in my collection and I love some of these colorways, but there's a huge difference between the two. A great example for the retro highs, as you can see right here, you have the Jumpman here on the tongue, Jumpman here on the back. This is not considered an OG high. That's the biggest difference when it comes to these two. Yes, it's a high top Air Jordan 1, but it's a retro, not a OG high. And those two letters, OG, is literally what's gonna change the value. And then, well, I can't say it's gonna change the value, but most of the time it does. But it's gonna definitely change the look of the shoe. Now let's take it to the Air Jordan 1 OG high. You see the difference, the Nike Air here on the tongue compared to the Jumpman like on the retros, and then again, no Jumpman here on the back, and then you got your classic Nike branding, OG cut high style, everything like that. So this is the shoe, I feel like most people like this colorway in particular, but when it comes to the OG high, this model, this style, is the style that a lot of people like. Now there are differences when it comes to eras, when it comes to the cuts of the materials and everything like that, and how it's just slightly shaped a little bit different. These are both Air Jordan 1 OG high retros. Now you can see there is a little bit difference in the toe, different things like that. Obviously this one isn't laced up, but there are some differences between the eras. So now we know that this one came out a little bit longer ago, and then this one is more recent over the past 5 years, and that's just a little bit different when it comes to eras. But at the same time, both of these are gonna hold their value because they're considered OG highs. You like, and if you want to get mids, cop mids. If you want to buy the alphas, cop the alphas. I wouldn't buy the alphas, but you can do it if you want to. All right, you guys, my name is DJ. I'm signing out. I got to go. I'm gone. Peace.